Put your focus on being patient and kind. This is a time for discovering your true purpose in this weary world. Hello, Bishop Jen. How are you? Yes, indeed. Irving, hello. Good to see you. How is life? Are you treating yourself well? Luke! There's Luke from Windsor, right? Yes. So it's good to see you folks. Are you guys enjoying your connections here on Happs? It's been amazing. I'm shocked at how many people I've met, and probably people I would have never met in real life. And that's what I love, because you can meet people from all over the world. I've been able to help a few people with their challenges, when they have the Happs challenge, try to get the 250. Hello, let it be. Yes, indeed. Let it be, right? Good old Beatles. Choose to release the pain from the past. Open your heart to the wonder of healing. Seek to find moments of peace. Taste the richness of a life well lived. Embrace this divine moment in time. Live in a state of gratitude and praise. Sunny, 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 shiny, shiny day. Yes. Shiny Hippie the other day, I was watching her. She's phenomenal. I love her. I want to get her on this broadcast. But she was having phone problems. Her phone absolutely dropped. And I think what happened there was just too many people, right, in the broadcast. And it crashed. She had so many comments. It was amazing. Let's put this here. All right. There it is. Shiny Hippie. And there we go. Sometimes I'll get in my head someone I think I should invite. And every once in a while that will connect. And it's fantastic. I love it. Absolutely love it. The other person I'm trying to get up as a guest sometime is a dear friend of mine, Amber Mack. Now, right now, it would be what time in England, guys? Would Colin be up? Would Colin be rocking? It's 5 hours ahead, right? It's funny. Certain names, you really got to type a lot of the letters in to get it. It's strange. So, what is the weather like? You guys having all that snow still? Kidding, not kidding. Okay. How are you, sir? Luke, are you available to come up today? I don't think Luke is the kind of person who enjoys necessarily being behind the camera, right? It's not for everybody. It's kind of crazy to want to do that, right? Be the light you desire most in this weary world. Choose to care about your neighbors. Have faith that we are being directed by something greater than ourselves. May you know on some level we are currently witnessing new levels of consciousness. Donald, how are you? I would love for you to be on my show tomorrow. Are you available tomorrow at 11:30? You would be a great pop-in guest. I love the way your mind thinks. All right. Donald, what are you doing right now? Donald always makes me laugh. He's a little bit of a conspiracy theory guy. And so am I, but I don't dance in that too much. But not crazy. Okay, so let's see here. I know you have 2 channels. I put it on the one that I see you on right now. Here are some of the people that I'm very grateful for in my life right now. Megan Andrews. Jace Jacobs, you can find him on YouTube. You can find him on Facebook. You can find him on Instagram. Hans Ekman, dear friend of mine. Colin Porter, of course, Randy W. Horton. Donald, you're on here as well. Fraser Ramsey, who was watching soccer. We were supposed to do a show with him. Donna, and of course, Shiny Hippie, Emma, Jasmine, Amber Mack. These are all people I'm giving gratitude to today. And of course, Bobby Shadow. Bobby Shadow. And the Banner Man. God, he makes me laugh. What a wild world that guy lives in. Is anybody else following the Banner Man? Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. I'm going to flip this way. It might be a little easier for me. Did you see that when I did the flip? Yeah. So let's have a look here. Oh, you may say it again. There you go. Okay. Sound effects are free. Okay, I'm going to send this to all the people this week. So thank you so much. Thank you for your support and waves of healing this week. Never stop being pursuit of excellence. Keep being a source of positive energy in this weary world full of suffering. And I really want to give thanks to several people in my life right now. One of them is William. There's Donald for all the things that you do. Thank you, Helder. Thank you, Pablo, who was very patient with me last week.
Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus. Well, Donald, thank anybody besides Jesus. There you go. I thank Jesus for Donald. There he is. So what wacky theories do you have? Do you notice I read the spiritual stuff in between here until people come up?
No, I don't. I'm not really religious, or spiritual or anything like that. I just like nature. I mean, you were talking about nature, walking in nature the other day. I think it was you.
Yeah, I love it. It's the only way I feel grounded. If I'm feeling like the shingles are falling off the roof, it's a great way for me to get centered again.
I always have my best inventions when I'm out in nature. Like some of my best inventions have come to me when I've been walking in the forest.
So right now, if you had to say if there was a part of your life that you wanted to make a little bit more clarity in your life, or maybe you had a little more inspiration, what would that be? What pathway would that be for you right now?
You're going to have to define that a little bit better. I mean, what's the question?
The question is, if you had the power right now to focus, laser focus on something, and you would be able to come with the outcome that you wanted, what would that be and why?
Well, I want to move to China, but I don't know. I know why I want to go there, and I know what I want to do when I get there. So, I mean, really, I think that when you accomplish something, regardless of what it is, it's that having it in your head all the time, literally thinking about it constantly. Because like I said on a stream that I had the other day, I was walking into a shop down in Germany in Flensburg, and I had seen like one part of my puzzle that I needed to finish to make my project work. So if you have something in your mind constantly and you're thinking about it all the time, it's good because you come up with solutions even when you're not expecting to. You know, someone might mention something to you and it might turn your whole idea on its head. So I like to think about my projects all the time. That's
so you have a very creative mind. My father used to say that some of the best ideas he would have just from coming from slumber, like when he first woke up, or while he was taking a shower in the morning. Some of the greatest ideas would, and I think it's because when the water is running on you, it's cleansing you, and you're in a different frequency.
Come on, man! Now you're getting all foo-foo-y. A different frequency. Well,
that's right.
There is a truth to that, though. When it rains, the air is, it's something to do with the ions in the air. You got positive and negative ions in the air when it's raining. So some people actually notice that extremely well. You know, they pick up on that.
Hello, Swift Beats. How are you, sir? Yes,
One thing,
and I think Fraser was implying that you run around naked. You may want to read the comment there if you can read it from your.
no, I don't read comments because those are a bunch of trolls.
Well, Fraser, I don't think is a troll. I think he's a fan.
No, I've known
I
Fraser for a long time.
Yeah, I know. How about British Spy? Do you know him from London? Hello, sir. How
No,
is the reception today, folks? Sometimes the reception isn't so good on apps, but it looks
looks good
crystal
on my
clear to
end.
me. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So yeah, no, everything comes down to energy, frequency. There's one more.
talent.
No.
No, I mean, I think it was somebody was just talking about that today on another podcast I was listening to.
Yeah.
He said that regardless of how much, how much raw talent you have, if you don't like set the gears in motion,
Oh God,
kind
you gotta have hustle.
yeah, yep,
You gotta want to grind. You gotta have like unshakable effing passion if you
yep,
wanted to, and you're gonna have people who are always gonna say, "Nay, you're stupid. You're this. You're that."
yeah,
Um, you know, yesterday Tim was in a broadcast, really nice guy, and he was saying that he wanted to quit because someone had said he had no talent, and I was like, Randy and I would never get up any morning if that was the case. We'd stay down.
yeah.
Yeah, no, you
Hey, Luke,
can't you can't listen to what people say.
Don
Like
Who, Mister Who, Don Who,
Mr. Who, Joe Con.
Horton. Here's a Who.
Yeah. Do you get along well with Mr. Horton?
He
You know.
was just he just came into my stream this morning when I was getting up. I do a
Yeah.
stream on my Jimmy Ritz mobile device, and it's my Huawei phone, but I gave it another name so I can add it quickly to a
Right.
stream, so I have a second camera if I want. But no, he jumped in there today, and we were talking about Bitcoin, and
Yeah.
the when you say conspiracy, there's a difference between conspiracy and actual uh, thuggery and criminal activity that's going
Hmm.
on in the government in the United States. So there's nothing to do with conspiracy. It's proven. And there's a lot of these big companies that get big huge fines. They're basically, when they get pulled into court, they admit that they're guilty, they pay
Yes.
their fine, and then they just go back to doing the same thing. So yeah.
Donald, where are you right now? Is this where you get a lot of your thoughts? Is this I'm trying to think because I've seen you in this room a few times.
Well,
You
I have
usually
my
have
green
the
screen. I have my green screen behind me. This is
Oh, do
like
you?
almost like a studio in part of
Yeah.
my living room. I have
I
my
love
I
it.
have my living room that's broken up in pieces.
When are
Yeah.
they going to have it where we can use OBS without a hassle?
To me, it's not really a big hassle. The only thing that you have to remember is
Yeah.
when I come into the studio, when you're setting it up, and I come
Yeah.
into the studio, I make sure that the laptop camera on my mobile device, or the laptop camera, is
Yeah.
activated. And then when I get into the studio, I switch it over where it says webcam settings,
Yeah.
where it says webcam. I switch it over to OBS, and then it's easy peasy. Because the thing is, you have to remember, you can do all of your setup on OBS before you get even in the room or do
Yeah.
anything else. But just leave your camera turned off. The camera that you're going to use to run through OBS, you
Yeah.
just have to leave that camera turned in the off position and add it once you get in the studio, and then it's easy. I mean, it's
Okay.
it's
So,
almost as simple as doing it the old way.
the average person
Yeah.
is going to wonder. So you don't have to put in the ULR.
You don't have
You
to do
don't
anything
have to
else.
put in the key. You don't have to put in the secret code.
No, you don't have to do any of that.
You just set up your broadcast as a webcam, and you set up your OBS in the same laptop. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, yeah, kind of, in kind of an indirect way. So, for example, do you have two cameras that you use? Do you use your
Yes.
laptop camera?
Yeah, I have multiple cameras. I have multiple
Okay.
cameras I can use.
So,
Yeah.
so the thing is with yours, you can do it either way. But what I wanted to say is, like, you can pretend like I put a piece of paper over my laptop camera, because I never use it because it's such a really crappy camera that's built into the
Yeah.
laptop. So what
Yeah.
I do is I know that that's on because the blue light comes on my Logitech C920. So there's
Yes.
like right there. If that light's on, that means that that camera is activated and it's
Yes.
actually putting out a signal. So what
Cool.
happens is when Happs pulls you in into the studio, it thinks that you want to use that, and it goes, "Sorry, I don't recognize it. Sorry, I don't recognize it." So it either pulls this one in, and this is just the Logitech camera. I'm not running OBS
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
now. So if I wanted to come into your studio, I would have to do basically the same thing. Before I came in, I would have to activate OBS and then
Yeah.
change the camera settings.
But
So
without the ULR code and the codes, and yeah, so
you don't have to do any of that stuff.
no, so here is the camera.
Okay, yeah.
If you want a cheap camera
Oh,
that
that's a
is
Mexico.
that is excellent quality for the money. You can get this in the States, I think, for about 50, $60, maybe even lower if you get lucky. But
So
as you can
that's
see,
just like a
it's quite
it's a
clear. And
Logitech clone.
yes, very
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Check it out, man.
absolutely. What do you got there?
It's anise. It's a plant that grows wild around here. It's
Yeah.
basically licorice, and I let it dry, and then you can chew on it. It's like eating licorice.
So, are you open tomorrow to be a guest for a few minutes in our show on the business show tomorrow? We'd love to have you in. You add some fire, some zest, some uh, foolery, trickery. No, 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 no. Okay.
At what time?
11:30 tomorrow Eastern. Good vibes, absolutely, Benny. We're all about the good vibes. Swift Beats. I invited you up if you want to say hello for a minute. He's promoting you here as well, Donald. So,
Yeah, thank you. Everyone, please follow. Yep. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm open to that.
are you? Hi,
Just
Laura.
send me a notification, and
Come on back here and say hello. Yeah, I'm on camera, so I'm just warning you. I'm on Happs. Come and say hello to your people.
Hello, people.
There you go, mask and all.
Hi.
Uh,
Sorry. Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
you've taken
Did you bring the beaster back?
I did.
Okay,
you've taken
you just
shots
put
of
her in
the dog.
Well, we have another one here. Let's let her have a look here. There we go. Oh.
Taking shots of the Chihuahua.
Well,
Say
this
cheese.
this is the new one. We're not even quite sure what this is, but it's definitely a dog.
Oh gosh.
It's a hyper one.
Okay, we gotta go.
Okay, if you can put her in the cage there for me, and thanks. All right. Sorry.
Bye.
Break for the cause. That was Laura Hope. If you want to follow her here on Instagram, you can see her there as well, or on Happs. I think she goes on Facebook once in a blue moon, but Instagram is her jam.
So yeah, I got to talking to Randy this morning about Bitcoin, and I think one of the things that was kind of like rang true is he has a pretty good understanding of Bitcoin. But since this, like, one of the major people in industry of institutional investment, Michael Saylor, he just invested millions and millions of dollars into Bitcoin, which is basically kind of like a green flag for the public to go into that space, because Michael Saylor is no slouch. He's head of micro investment strategy.
Right. Yeah.
So
he knows what he's doing.
That's he's like an MIT graduate,
yeah,
rocket scientist kind of guy. He's really sharp. And so with all
Hi,
of this
Guy. Hi, Ryan.
You know, people think that that's some kind of, it's not, there's no conspiracy. It's like the little guy on Robinhood trying to attack Wall Street. And that's where that whole thing with, what do you call it, GameStop, that's how that all arose. It's basically people just going, well, let's go after these guys that are shorting these different stocks. And that's what they do. And they can make a lot of money, but it's also really volatile and dangerous for people who don't know what they're doing.
Oh, absolutely. People have won and lost fortunes doing that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It's a form of gambling when you do it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When
yeah,
when you're intentionally targeting another company or another group of investors, you're like playing Russian roulette because they have bigger bags of coins than you do, and they
yes.
can swing them around and cause a lot more damage.
Well, think of it this way: if you were playing Monopoly, and I had $5,000 and you had 500, who's going to win?
Yeah, it's easy.
Right,
You could buy
right.
up every piece of property and do in it whatever you want. You can
Yeah, and then
manipulate the markets.
yeah, and then I could put houses on it, and if you land on me, you're screwed. Yeah,
Yeah.
Walt, how do you feel about coming up for a minute, or is that once in a lifetime, Walt? I had Walt come up. I was starstruck for a few minutes, but then I got it together. Good old Walt.
Hey, Walt.
Yeah, he is one of
Walt
the
Whitman.
nicer people on Happs.
Walt
That have,
Whitman. Walt Disney. I don't know a lot of Walt's. There was one of my favorite guys in my whole neighborhood was an old
yeah,
guy named Walt, and he had
yeah,
radio towers and stuff in his backyard. He had like ham radio antennas in his backyard.
that's
The guy
so
was like a
cool.
genius. He was a genius. He had built things in his garage that I was like going, I still don't understand. Can you explain this one more time? He built things that I didn't really understand, like radio equipment and stuff.
Hi,
He built
Lucia. Nice to
components.
see you.
Pretty cool.
Nice to see you. Have you ever talked to Lucia?
She stopped by. I try to get her in to come into my streams from time to time, but maybe I'm a little bit too intense for her taste.
I don't find you intense. I find you interesting. Luke is also into ham radios. Am I saying that right? Ham?
Ham radios, yeah.
Yeah, ham radios. Yeah,
HAM.
yeah, yeah. Luke MC is definitely into it. So
Yeah, my friend, this was back in, oh man, like in the 70s. He was talking to people in other parts of the world with his ham radio. I was like going, this is really impressive. But he knew what he was doing. He'd been in the Navy, so he had lots of that experience from the Navy. But he was just a really brilliant guy. His name was Walt.
do you have any military background, sir?
No, my dad says you better not go into the military. You won't be able to take orders from anybody.
Yeah, so you've
Two,
always
two,
been a
two of
free
my other
thinker.
brothers, two of my other brothers went into the military and they did fine. My dad just goes, I don't think the military's for you.
I don't think it's for most people.
Yeah.
Unless you've really lost your way and you need heavy structure, it's not for creative thinkers. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, I agree that. Well, the thing is too is I've never been a person. I don't call myself a pacifist. I could kill anybody that you gave me a chance to if they, pushed me the wrong way. But that's not the point. I mean, the idea that I would be going to another country to kill people that I don't know and I don't know the reason behind it, that would be, to me, would go against my own personal ethics. Has nothing to do with religion or anything else. It's just that I wouldn't want to kill anybody for no apparent reason. Just
Yeah,
because they're pointing a gun at me and I have
yeah.
to point a gun at them because some government says we're supposed to. No, that's not for me.
That reminds me of Muhammad Ali. He was like, "Look, I have no qualms with these people. I've had more
Right.
problems. I've had more problems with the people here than I do there. I'm not going. So
Yeah.
do what you must, but I'm not going to kill one of my brothers. I can't do it."
Right.
And they put him in jail, and he lost his title. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
His first name was Cassius Clay. Is that correct? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Then he
Cassius
changed
Clay.
it to Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, because
Muhammad
he
Ali.
because he found God. He found God.
Well, he got exposed to those people that were in the Muslim, in
Yeah.
the Muslim lifestyle. And I mean, that would have happened. I think that would have happened regardless because he was such a public figure and he was black and he could travel all over the world. So he could be a good mouthpiece for that group. Basically, he could just be saying, yeah, I'm changing my name to Muhammad Ali. Well, why are you doing that? Well, because I was asked to. Maybe he had a calling. I don't know. I couldn't hear the first part that you invited me to the stream.
Would you
Oh,
like to come up?
I just said that that if you were over there and I invited you onto my stream, that you might not have wanted to take the invitation because I'm a little bit too intense for you. Mm. Yeah,
do you
or else it might be sometimes when you come into a room and you hear some topic that they're talking about and you don't
yes.
relate to the topic or you don't have anything to add to the conversation. So that happens quite often.
So what is it about Bitcoin that excites you so much? Because my wife loves it too.
Well, she's pretty
Definitely
smart.
on she's definitely on the Bitcoin train. She loves it.
Well, the reason that it's something that's really important to pay attention to is that because for many people they think of it as a digital currency that they can't touch. You can't feel it. It's just something
Mhm.
that's floating around on these servers in this internet space. And if you think about it that in that regard, you've been doing this for the past 20 some odd years. You've been using a digital currency. It's just didn't have the name Bitcoin, and it wasn't a cryptocurrency. It was a digital currency. So when you make a transaction with your credit card
Yeah.
or you go to an ATM and you type in some numbers and it spits out some actual dollar bills or pounds or euros, you're basically doing a digital transaction, but you're still with an ATM, you're just getting some paper money that you can go give to somebody else. All that cryptocurrency is doing is it is decentralizing. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Hex are decentralizing the transaction. So instead of me taking my money and going in and out of a bank and going through the bank as a third party to send money to you, for example, I'm taking my money and I'm sending it from me directly to you. And we're
Yeah.
cutting out that third party.
And that's why Hollywood has been considering doing that, where they'll just pay in their own cryptocurrency and not deal with the banks. And then
Yeah.
I think too they'll have more wiggle room on their tax times too. I think they don't want everything traced. So many people
Well,
believe that we're going to be, drones everywhere. We're going to end up having where AI look after everything. We're going to have a certain amount of
it,
money, but we're not going to own anything. Do you believe any of that?
but no, you're going off the deep end because what it really essentially is it has nothing to do with any conspiracies or anything. What it is people back in the financial crisis, back when Bitcoin was really originated,
Yeah.
the Satoshi Nakamoto, whoever that person really is, who wrote the code for Bitcoin,
Yes.
he did it for the specific purpose of combating the crazy amount of federal money printing, because money printing is basically it's illegal. If you or
Yeah.
I printed our own money
Oh,
currency, we
we
would
go
be
to
put in
jail.
jail.
We go to
Yeah.
jail. They call it
So
counterfeiting.
yeah, and they're doing it now in such huge quantities that
Yes.
they're basically devaluing the dollar. So that's
Yeah.
why Bitcoin was created. What's the word for it? When you supplant, you take something out and you put something else in its place.
Yes.
Bitcoin will become a world currency, and it will
Yes.
be very powerful, really powerful. So when people say that it'll go up to $200,000 per coin, it's very serious that it will. Um,
You didn't address though the question I said, and I was being honest. Do you think we'll have number one a cashless society where it's all either through credit card or
no,
interact or Bitcoin? There'll be no cash, and I'm
yeah,
seeing businesses now that don't want to deal in cash at all.
it'll be on your phone. All of your digital transactions will be on your phone. So WeChat is a big app in China, and you can do every transaction you want to through WeChat. The Chinese are so much further ahead of the United States when it comes to digital transactions and any kind of digital currency that the United States is just going to play catch up for the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, one world currency. I totally
No, no,
agree.
no. There won't be one world currency. There's definitely won't be one world currency.
Oh, they would like that though. They would
No, but
like
the
that.
thing is, though, the fallacy of that statement, the incorrect statement, the reason that that's such an incorrect statement is because you have to look at the entire macroeconomic picture. there's so many trillions of dollars floating around in so many different currencies up to this date that it would be very, very difficult for even Bitcoin to take over as a number one currency or a world currency. It would be just too ludicrous to think that that could ever happen. Maybe in 40 or 50 years, possibly one currency could emerge as the winner, but it's going to take a long time.
Hello, Bjorn. Hello, C.S. Murphy. Do you know C.S. Murphy by any chance, Donald?
Yeah, I watch his content all the time. It's really good. I'm gonna order my my headset.
Yeah. What headset are you gonna get? Tell me about it.
I think it was one he was talking about before. It was like an Oculus 2 or something. He's gonna have to write it in the chat again. I don't remember.
I just invited him up. I would love for you to come up, sir, if you'd like to for a few minutes. That would be awesome. Yeah.
I always thought it would be cool because I've known of people that have had to do welding, actual welding in ships where you have to get down in these really tight, confined areas. And I thought it would be really cool to take the haptic handles and actually weld with your goggles on at a remote place and have the robot weld while you're controlling the welder. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That would be really cool. Just like a surgeon operating on somebody with haptic controls. That would be really sweet.
I was hearing Weird Al in my head. It's like a surgeon instead of like a virgin, which Madonna did. Yeah.
Yeah.
The world, though, right now has never been, I thought, in a greater moment of reset where your basic freedoms are being tested every day. So I heard a friend of mine, Megan, told me in the summer, and I thought she was joking. She had drones in the park go by her and tell her to go home when they had lockdown in Australia.
Yeah, I believe that.
That's like something out of a freaking movie, right? That's crazy.
Yeah. But is it so hard to either accept or believe that these companies, like if you think about the police department and the prison system as an entity in itself,
yes,
it's one of the highest paid entities in the United States. You know, I mean, they put a lot of people behind bars in the United States.
Yeah,
and they do that because the privatization of the prison system. It's like they have to have customers, and the customers are people who are breaking the law. So if you don't have laws to break, you know, I mean, there's no conspiracy. It's basically those things were set up as money.
No, I've seen shows on it. I've seen where they had corrupted a few judges, where they ended up giving people very long sentences on crimes that, you know, the person maybe should have just got a slap on the wrist. Yeah, I've seen things like that.
Yeah. But it's the whole system. I mean, once that whole system crashes, then they'll learn how to treat people and actually treat people with respect, like they do here in Denmark. I've been here since 2001, and I've never had any interactions with a police officer except for my friend who happens to be a police officer.
Right.
And he's just the nicest guy you'd ever want to meet. He even watches American TV, and he asked me, he goes, why do these guys drive around giving out traffic violations all day long? I go, it's a money-making entity. That's all it is.
Yeah, someone has to pay the bills. In Denmark, is that where you're from? You said you're from Denmark?
No, I'm from California.
Oh, okay. Like California knows how to party? That California?
Yeah. I was born and raised in Southern California, and then I moved to Denmark in 2001.
Okay, and you're still there?
Yeah.
Okay. So in Denmark, are they wearing masks, like the mask in public? Are they wearing shields? Are they wearing the rubber gloves? Like in Florida, I hear they're not wearing anything.
Only when you go onto public transportation, like a bus or a train, are you supposed to wear a mask. Or if you go into the supermarket, they want you to wear a mask. So it's pretty simple, pretty laid back. But people are following the rules. I mean, it's not like we're a bunch of dumb anarchists or something. No, we're not going to wear your mask. That would be just ridiculous.
But there's some of that going on. Not in Canada, where most of us are still wearing a mask. We're not doing the social distancing well. But I did see a video, and it's probably you've seen it too. It's all over the news. In Florida, there was not one person in this one grocery store in Florida that was wearing a mask whatsoever, and there clearly was no social distancing. So, and I think for the average person, unless they know someone who has it or is dying from it, they're unaffected. Unfortunately, where my wife works right now, they have an outbreak, and they've had, I think, over 20 people who have had it, but no one has perished that I know of yet. So,
Yeah.
and I think for a lot of people, they're just treating it like the common flu.
Well, that's really what it is. I mean, for me, I think that's basically what it is. It's just a pretty strong. It's got a. I think from what this woman told me, that she said that she feels that it's more contagious than the flu that she's used to seeing people have. I mean, she's a nurse. She's a friend of mine.
Right. Yeah, and they would know. They
said.
would know. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's just a bit more contagious than a regular flu, and it's a little bit more serious for people, obviously, with lung conditions and things like that.
Hi, Rose. Good to see you. Good afternoon.
Howdy.
It's Saturday. You never see me. I'm usually early in the morning because my morning show is like 6:30 to 7:30. A lot of times people watch the replay. But I see Rose quite a bit, so I'm always grateful to see her. I noticed that you were also in Michael Hinton. I think that's his last name. He's a psychic, card reader, mystic. He's kind of fun to watch.
Deerfield Beach. Where's that? Is that in Florida?
I'm not sure.
I got to look at their.
So 11:30 Eastern time tomorrow. I would love for you to pop in, even for like 10 minutes.
Okay.
And I've got Ari tomorrow, who is
Florida.
I think you and him would be able to discuss a lot of things in deeper levels than I could with you.
Yeah, that's fine. So what time is it right now? Because then I could just mark it down on my calendar, or I could just write it with the pen and paper. I got a pen.
Yeah, 11:30 Eastern tomorrow, and yeah, and currently here it's just before 2:00. It's 1:56, and where are your children? Do you know? Do you remember when they used to do that? It's 8:00, and do you know where your children are?
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to do that when I was
called Network.
No, is it a good one?
It's an old movie. There was a guy who yelled out his window, "I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore." You don't remember that?
No, I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, it's a movie called Network. Albert Finch, I think, was the name of the actor. It was a great old movie.
But Jordan is saying a friend of mine had corona 6 months ago and still has no taste and is still struggling with breathing problems. She is just 43. Now, you know what they call that here? Long haul. And there are a lot of people that have had COVID several times, but these are usually people that have a compromised immune system. I wanted to make sure I had the right terminology.
Yeah.
All right.
Is this your pre-show? No, this is the main show, bitch.
No, so everybody in the room, we're going to close this one down. Fraser is going to go for his Happs challenge. Donald, we'd love to see you there.
What's the deal? I thought the Happs challenge thing was over.
No, it's for 8 weeks. He had already jumped in. So he has to get once a week, one broadcast that's under his umbrella where he gets 250 views in the chat while it's happening. I don't know if that's going to happen for him, but we'll try.
You have to have at least one show that has over 250. Is that my understanding?
Yeah, during the broadcast though, not
during the broadcast.
During the broadcast.
But I almost hit that mark the other day.
Yeah.
That's something I really wasn't paying attention to because it wasn't that important for me to do it. Oh, well, what's the deal with all of these periscopers that I see that are migrating over here to this platform?
It's wonderful because they know the time is almost up. They only have a couple of weeks left, I believe. And then, hey, the people in the comments, how long is it before Periscope is completely shut down? And they'll come over and say, "Hello, Happs, how are you?"
Once a week for 8 weeks. Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
Michael Bathurst.
Have faith. We can get him there. Okay, Brenda. I'm lucky enough that I have, usually in the morning, I have enough. I usually have somewhere between 250 and 300 views. But here's the thing about Happs that I love so much, Donald, is that you can have 300 views or 150 views in the morning. And
Yeah,
then the next day, you've got 900 views. I've never seen that on another platform. And that's the
yeah,
beauty of Happs.
yep. I think it's actually pretty amazing because I just went and looked at a StreamYard. StreamYard got bought out by Hopin, which
I
is
didn't
an
know that. Is that current? Is that a
that,
current
that
news
happened
story?
recently. Yeah, yeah. So, anyways, StreamYard, I got a notification from them,
Yes.
and the guys were sitting there going, "Oh yeah, well, I wanted to do a video behind me on my green screen." And the guy wouldn't answer him. He was like going, "How do you do that?" And I go,
Yeah.
"Use OBS, use OBS." I kept
Yeah.
writing in the chat. I was like going, "Why are they?" It's like they're saying, "Oh no, that's a different tool. We're not going to use that, and we don't want our
Yeah.
users to use that." And I
Oh,
just
I
think it's ridiculous because I use all of these different tools within each,
Oh, and you do them so well. So quickly,
Mhm.
again, we're going to do a circle around like they do in church.
Yeah,
We're not asking for any money, but if you can explain one more how you can put OBS
into your
on your Happs.
Okay, just imagine this is your laptop computer. This is your laptop computer, and this is your laptop camera. When you come into the studio on when you come into the studio on Happs, and you're setting all your stuff up, and you're clicking all your locations like Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, all those places. You click all those buttons, and you just go next step. But make sure that your laptop camera is activated when you come into the studio. So once you get into the studio, it's already recognized your camera, but it doesn't know that you're going to switch from one camera to another. So then you go down into your mic and camera settings down in the lower center of the screen. You pull up that menu, and there's a drop down menu that says, which camera do you want to use? And then you just switch it over to the OBS, because the for some reason the software will pick that up. It'll recognize that you have OBS on your device, but it's
Perfect.
just not activated. So
Interesting.
that's what
So,
you have to do. It once you get into the studio, you have to switch your camera
so
settings.
okay, I'm just going to ask a question. So you have to have your OBS on first.
No, 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 no. You don't want
Yeah.
to have. You don't really need to have it on. You basically just come. You just come into the studio
Yeah.
and do all of your OBS setup as after you're in the studio. Because once you're in the studio, you just
Yeah.
go down there and you just hit that little gear. Pop-up menu comes up, and then you
Under
change
your
it.
camera, under your
Yeah, you change
cameras.
it from your integrated camera over to
Yeah.
OBS. Yeah.
Perfect. I don't know if I've ever seen that setting, my friend, on Linux. I'll have to look. That
I'm,
I may not have that.
I've
That's
done
interesting.
I've done the tutorial twice or three times now.
Yeah.
So,
Well, once, twice, three times a lady. You're like the Commodores. Okay. It's all good. So listen,
three
everybody,
times a lady.
we are now migrating over to Frasier, and Frasier is going to go for his Haps challenge. So I want you all to invite every person you've ever known in your life, and I'm going to go over there. I always give gratitude at the end of my broadcast. Donald, please just tell me what you're grateful for, and then I'll tell them what I'm grateful for, and I hope you migrate to the Frasier show.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some dinner.
Okay,
Is he gonna start it right away? What time is he gonna start?
he's going to start, but he'll be on a while. He'll be on a
Oh,
while.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. Yeah, I'm kind of grateful for this platform because it's actually it's working out to be really cool. Yeah, it's a nice place to meet people. I was never a big periscoper, so for people
Yeah.
who are just getting to know me, they'll realize that I do 3 different shows on this platform, and I did when Blab was around too. So I'm just grateful for video communication. It's a lot of fun.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Okay, so tomorrow I hope I see you on the business show
I got it
Uh,
written down, man.
Yeah, we're going to have a couple people from my work that are going to be on that. That's tomorrow, Sunday, Eastern Time, 11:30. I am honestly so grateful for the community that I've built in such a short period of time on Happs, and I always feel so loved and respected. And let's show that love and respect to Fraser, and maybe with a miracle, we'll get him over 250. And
A miracle.
miracle, we'll do it together. All right, take care. Let's hope for miracles, or we'll get Randy W. Horton in there, and then we won't have to pray. Or Emma. Emma is another one. Emma can get you 20. What am I kidding? She can get you 200 people in 20 minutes. All right. Have an
Wow.
awesome Saturday.